Rationalism is a school of philosophy that relies on human reason to understand the world. Reason itself is an innate human property. In other words, we're born with the ability to reason, and early rationalists saw reason as God-given gift. The father of rationalism is René Descartes, who lived between 1596 and 1650. He was a French philosopher and a scientist who famously did his thought experiment. He sat down in his armchair and asked the simple question: what if everything we know is just a dream? Nothing exists in reality. In other words, to prove that he existed, he did the opposite. He doubted his own existence. Then he said, if everything was a dream, the dreamer has to be real, otherwise there will be no dreaming without a dreamer, or doubt without a doubter. So he said the most famous line in philosophy: I think, therefore I am. Even if you doubt your own existence, this doubt is real. According to Descartes, we get knowledge or ideas in three different ways. Some come from our experience, some derived from reason, and some ideas are innate inside us, presumably from God. So rationalists like René Descartes argue that we have an innate knowledge of the world, and as we grow, we simply unfold that knowledge to see things more clearly. In a way, rationalists are like Plato in saying that our knowledge of the world inside us and learning is just recollection of that innate knowledge. So the seed is inside us, not outside. The other famous rationalist was Gottfried Leibniz, who lived between 1646 and 1716. Today we know him more because of the famous argument he had with Isaac Newton over the invention of calculus. Leibniz, however, was a great philosopher who made a distinction between rational truth and factual truth. In other words, our knowledge of the world relies on our innate reason, but also on human experience. The things we experience on the outside builds on and solidifies our inner knowledge. For Leibniz, the human mind is a small representation of the entire universe. In other words, the human mind contains everything in the universe. If the universe is rational, then the human mind is a representation of that rationality. However, he conceded that human rationality is not always adequate to understand the world, so we need human experience to complement our rational faculties. One of the biggest problems for Leibniz was his belief in God, so he attempted to reconcile scientific empiricism with the idea of God who knows it all. In doing so, Leibniz argued for two different forms of truth. The empirical truths we get through experiences add to our rational truth which we innately have or God-given. So to sum up, rationalists argue that humans are naturally equipped to utilize reason to understand the world, with or without the need of observation or animal senses. In other words, we don't need experiences to know the world. We simply know it because, for the most part, God has imparted us with innate knowledge or ability of reasoning. Empiricists, however, disagreed, saying that we understand the world not innately but through experience and empirical data we gather from the world through our human senses. Our mind is a blank slate without experience.